All right, everybody. I'm here to talk about the Alabama versus Kent State game. Some of the things I noticed as I was watching it through, and was able to look at a few things and just kind of give you my thoughts on what I saw unfolding during the game. So yesterday, like Nick Saban, I too was impressed with the performance that was put on by the team. We still can get better, but I'll get into that. So I'll just go down my little list of little notes I took. One thing that was really interesting that Damian Harris's injury, it looked like a knee injury on the game film actually, but when Saban talked about it, he said it was an ankle injury, a high ankle sprain. And it was weird because the guy came crashing into him and hit his leg, and the knee just kind of went toward, the side. The leg went toward the side. But I realized probably the reason why it became an ankle injury is because the force may have sent the knee um, to the side, but I realized the ankle still stayed like where it was. The foot was planted, and so I think it must have just strained the ankle when the leg was going somewhere while the foot was still planted, which I'm sure was very painful, which is why Damian Harris didn't get up right away. So hopefully he rests well and comes back healthy for the stretch of games we got after Kentucky this week. Another thing I noticed is that Hurts seems to have learned how to take the check down, which is something I've been waiting on. It's like, good, you don't have to force the ball deep every time. So he seems to have learned how to take the check down. And so that's really good to see. Also, I noticed about Hurts is that on the option, he's really good. Teams really respect his running ability, and to multiple times throughout the game, as he will fake the ball to Harris or whoever's in the backfield, he'll pull it back out and he's gone. He's around the edge, and the defense honestly just can't keep up with him. He's very shifty, and he's a natural runner at the quarterback position, which is really cool. Also, along that line, a couple of those run option plays that Howard's blocking is really, really good. He's improved so much. He pancaked the guy on a 20-yard touchdown. He got in the way of a guy and opened up the crease for Hurts a couple of times. OJ Howard's blocking and in the running game too on those motion across the formation. It's been great. I'm excited to see him continue to do that as well as catch some more passes. Another thing that's negative is that Ronnie Harrison, um, he missed an open field tackle on a bad ankle, and I don't know what's been going on with Ronnie Harrison, but he's got to get it together. He's been having weird games lately, and he seems like he's out of position. And last week, not being able to cover Evan Ingram, and in the USC game, he seems to have lost his head. So hopefully, we can bring him back down. Got something in my eye for a second. Anyway, Joshua Jacobs, that's another guy I noticed. His vision and shiftiness is really good, really, really good. He also can accelerate too. But when I see him hit the hole and find where he needs to go, and once he gets in there, he's making guys miss, getting his leg out of a tackle. And I really like what I see out of him. He's looking like he did on his high school tape, which is rare for these guys to come in and still look that good. When I watched his state, he's a three-star recruit. He didn't get a lot of attention until like the last month before signing day, and he looks really, really good. I like Joshua Jacobs. Also, something I'm so happy about, the pass protection continues to impress. This offensive line is great in pass protection. Whenever Jalen Hurts is in the game, even when Blake Barnett's in the game too, they leave a clean pocket. It is so clean. Jalen Hurts has all day to throw, 3, 4, 5 seconds sometimes, and that's really, really good. And far cry from last year. The difference from last year is fantastic. Jonah Williams, the true freshman right tackle, has been playing absolutely great, and he makes Dominique Jackson from last year look like a fool because Dominique Jackson could not pass protect for his life. But Jonah Williams is doing a great job. So that is really good to see along with the rest of the line. The guard, the inside of the line has become great pass blockers. Even Alphonse Taylor. Now he still gets, because he's a little bit slow because he's a little heavier, he still gets guys to come by him every once in a while. But for the most part, they're doing great. Also, Jalen made a really interesting play on the second drive. If he did it on purpose, it was brilliant. But if he did it because he was forcing the ball, then he need to work on that. But so Bo Scarborough was running, on the running back, cut up the field, and Jalen Hurts threw him the ball and hit Scarborough, while the defender was turned around trying to stay in front of Scarborough, but Jalen threw it to Scarborough behind the defender, and so Scarborough had a chance to catch the ball, and then he got a few yards. If you want to check that play out, it's around the 8-minute mark on the game clock in the first quarter, And I said, if he did that on purpose, it was a brilliant play. If he didn't, then we need to work on him forcing the ball. Also, Cam Sims, he plays like he is 6'5". He looks like it too. He has good hands. There was a play where I saw him like reach out, just grab the ball, and hold on to it on the sideline. And really need to give him more time playing. I love our Darius Stewart. I want to see them both play, but we really need to get Cam on the field because his height and that adds another dimension to the game. And Jalen Hurts looked his way up a few times, and I really like that. They need to keep that up. Also, speaking of Jalen throwing deep and going down the field, he's still late on throws sometimes. I noticed that eh, he'll hold on to the ball too long and won't throw it when he needs to. The play that OJ Howard was one that I'm thinking about in particular. OJ Howard was coming across the field on a crossing route, and he waited just a second or two long to throw on the ball. Now OJ had to wait on it, and if he didn't have to wait on it, he probably would have ran up the field for more yards. Coincidentally, Blake Barnett hit him on that same route, and OJ Howard ran for a touchdown. So Jalen has to work on his timing. One thing is also really cool is that Jalen showed great awareness on a play around the 130 mark game time. It was a low snap, and he picked it up and he continued with the play. It was amazing to see. Like the snap was low, and most guys would just take up and run. He picked the ball up really fast, got the ball up, faked it to Damian Harris, ran to the right when he realized that nothing was going to happen. He threw the ball away. Great play, great awareness. We need to keep that up. Um, that shows me that that builds my confidence in Jalen. He has great awareness, just to work on his timing. But other than that, man, I like this kid. Also, the play where Ridley was popped on the inside was popped, in the end zone when he was going to catch the touchdown but dropped it. I think Jalen made a great throw right there. It was right where it needed to be. I think really just shied away from the contact, and that's why he dropped the ball. Now, it was a hard hit, but really did shy away from him. But other than that, Jalen threw great plays. Also, I think Ronnie Harrison got dinged up a bit in the second quarter. He hit a guy really hard, but it looks like he hurt himself in the process. So not only is he messing up in cover, sometimes he's hurting himself too. So we got to get Ronnie Harrison together. Speaking of Blake Barnett, he showed great awareness around the 8 minute mark of the game time. I think it was the second quarter, yeah, on a dump off to Josh Jacobs. Yeah, it was crazy. The play, he snapped the ball, and the defenders were already in the backfield. So he took off to the left, and he realized, oh, I can't go that way. So he spun around really fast to the right, saw the defenders coming, and he knew where his check down was and just flung the ball. Joshua Jacobs caught it, got it for a first down. Great play by Blake Barnett. I'm really liking what these young quarterbacks are doing. This is good. He was also very accurate on that pass to OJ. Like I said, he led him. He threw the ball out in front of OJ. OJ caught the ball, ran 34 yards. His timing was great. His timing seems to be a little bit better than Jalen Hurts on the passing plays. But it seems like uh, Jalen seems to be doing better overall though and leading the team. But Blake is very encouraging if he does have to step in. Tim Williams was also very active in this game. I really like what I saw from him. He was crazy just in the backfield, mauling guys. They're not calling holding calls. I feel like Tim gets held all the time, and the officials haven't called a holding flag against Alabama all season. I don't understand. I feel like he's being held all the time, but he's a monster though. Using that inside move, getting inside of the tackles. You guys gotta watch this guy. What I also like is that I saw Hootie Jones got some reps, which is good because the secondary, we noticed when they started going down with injuries against Ole Miss, it was a little fresh and they started getting beat a little bit. And so it's good to see Hootie Jones in that safety role get some reps. Also, Josh Frazier got some reps early on in the game. And so that's good to see because we do need these guys to step up later on. Also, I saw Hurts do some crazy things. When he's evading defenders in the backfield, he has this like Tony Romo impression going on where he's like spinning out of the tackle and running past guys. I really like it. Uh, Also on that play on the touchdown, Mac Wilson that Hurts threw, he threw it where it needed to be because if he had to throw it out in front, the defender would have had a chance to make a play on the ball. Now he could have been just a little bit more accurate, but that's a bit nitpicky. So that touchdown he threw to Mac Wilson, he threw it in the right place. Otherwise, it could have been an interception or the defender could have knocked it down. So I won't fault him too much for how the pass looked, but he can refine it a little bit. What I do like from the backup defense is that Keith Holcomb looks really good. He's flying around the field. I think he's the bright spot of the backups on defense. So that'll be interesting. Also, a little funny thing is that Raekwon Davis, the freshman, he looks like he's 6'7". That guy is huge, and I can't wait till he actually starts playing. So that'll be fun to see. The run blocking has continued to look good since Ole Miss, and that's really great. I'm excited to see that coming. So the offensive line is finally starting to come around. And finally, the backup defensive linemen need to work on their gap control. They seem to give up running yards at a higher rate than the starting. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for listening to this long thing.